Hello, everybody. Happy Friday of one of the most insane weeks of my streaming life. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is ItsKim. If you've never seen me before, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my show. I'm a pop culture commentator, a massive Britney Spears fan, and this is where I live. You may have seen me around the internet, but this is where I hang my hat. And this week we have been doing lots of coverage leading up to the release of Britney Spears' memoir, The Woman in Me, which is coming out on October 24th. And I have been trying to stay on top of all of the news coming out because there's been a lot, and there was no way that I was going to be able to get it all in the streams earlier in the week. So this is a special Friday stream. Thank you to everybody who is here. I would ask you to please consider liking this video, subscribing to my channel. I am on a journey to get to 30,000 subscribers, and I would love for you to be a part of that journey for me. Also, if you really like my content, you can check out my membership program, which is called Space Angels, my community. Also, if you really want to be a part of the community and you're just not in a place where membership is a thing that you can do right now, please allow gifts, because we tend to have a lot of gifts given out in this stream. So I'm really excited to be here. We're going to go through a few things. We are going to go through some headlines. We're going to have our halftime as normal, just our talking time. If you are watching on the replay, this is an interactive show. There will be timestamps below that you can skip to the part that you want, so you can see, what you came here to see, or you can watch the show in full. I am like so overwhelmed right now, guys. I have a Kim rant incoming. I'm just going to warn you guys about that right now. There is a rant coming. There's a rant coming that I have been waiting to say for 20 years today, and it's finally here, and I'm very excited about it. I think that covers everything. I hope I've done all the housekeeping that I need to do. And I guess we can get started. So I can see a lot of you guys here. I'm sorry I was a couple minutes late. I was just trying to make sure that I got everything in order the way that I wanted it to be. I was actually joking with producer sister that I feel like I'm writing a bit of like a university thesis thing right now. Like I'm getting together my presentation to prove my points. Because if I don't bring the facts, it's not a good look. And that's what I do. I try to go below the headlines. I try to give full context. I think that's important. Just double checking. I just saw Soki. Hello, Soki. In the chat just said there's a lot of buffering on their end. Is it just them? Can you guys let me know if you guys are having any tech issue things going on, if I sound okay, if there's any problems? I can see what I can do and see. Just double checking. No, okay, I'm seeing I'm not buffering. Yeah, okay, then I think we're all right. I think we're okay then. And I hope that everything is smooth and works out. Okay. So, for everybody here, let me know, where are you watching from? What are you drinking today? What's going on for you on this Friday? I normally don't stream this day of the week, so I don't know if you guys are at work or if you're at home. Like, what's the deal? What's going on? I'd love to know. And that'll give me a second to get everything queued up that I need, because of course I don't do anything. I don't half anything. Thank you so much to General Scott that just gifted 5 memberships. That is super kind of you. I am always so happy to see any support. It makes my day. And General Scott is always such a huge support on this channel, and I very much appreciate you, sir. Thank you, General. And welcome to any new members. You're welcome to check out the bonus content that is on my main page of my channel. It's in a playlist called Space Angels Only, and it's lots of content just for members in this community. All right, so seeing lots of people. Yes, welcome, new Space Angels. I see Michelle is at home drinking water. Jamaica. Debbie is in Jamaica. I am jealous. Scarlett is drinking coffee in Edmonton. Yes, Edmonton. Hello, my fellow Canadian. I assume, or my fellow person in Canada. Hello. Vacation at Lake George in New York from Moon's Path. Rando Mando, Cleveland, cold and rainy. Casanova, Bakersfield, California. Tyrone is in Roswell, New Mexico. Allison Rose watching from KW, Ontario? Kitchener-Waterloo. Is it Kitchener-Waterloo? I'm just trying to I'm guessing. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Anne is in Brazil. It's raining there. And Jessica's in Maryland. My goodness. And Charlotte's in Sweden. Mandora Art is in Portugal. My goodness, this is crazy how many places we are watching from. It always is so humbling and crazy to just be like, I can't believe we're all together. And this is part of why I love community. It's like this so much, because as much as we have a lot of things that make us different, we have a lot of things in common, and we can all come together over certain issues and find common ground. And I think that's important. Hello, Vicky A. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. That brings up our gifted memberships to 10. That is huge. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And welcome to new Space Angels. Okay. So for those of you that are regular viewers on my channel, you will know that I have a thing that I do when I'm going to talk about things that are going to give me emotions. I write a script because I don't want to forget things. I don't want to say things out of context. And I have AD4K, and sometimes I want to say things out of order because that's the way my brain is, and I don't want to mess up. And I want to make sure that I am representing my thought process effectively. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I am referring to my script. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to make sure that I say the things that I really want to say. Hope that that's okay. That was something I got a lot of hate on at the beginning of my streaming, experiences. I was always checking notes to make sure, because I was talking about legal cases, and people would be like, she's so stuck up and self-centered. She never looks at us. She must think she's above everyone. I'm like, no, I'm just trying to read. All right. So, since we last spoke, there's been a lot of news that has leaked from The Woman in Me. I am not going to be getting into every single thing that has leaked. We would be here until midnight tonight. And I think some of us have plans on our Friday or have other things that we would like to do. But I want to go over some of the biggest ones that have really hit the press, that are basically unavoidable at this point, and try to give some context, and just go through that process. So, as with the last stream, this stream is going to include speculation and opinion from me. Should not be taken as fact. However, I do show you where I get that information, why I come to these conclusions, and you are free to make an opinion of your own, and also to check out my link, like where I get my sources. All of my sources are in a Google Doc that is in the description of this video. Literally, it is a Google Doc of this entire week. So if you want to do some reading and stuff, I'll try to go through it and organize it a bit better, because it's a bit of a mess right now, because I've literally just been going like, okay, but it's all there. All right. I love everybody talking about AD4K. It's fun. It's fun. It's a superpower at the end of the day. It's a superpower. But it's a lot sometimes. So, since we last spoke, I've seen a few headlines suggesting this, and I do want to just say I haven't seen anything official, so I can't say that this is 100%. But reportedly, a podcaster has claimed that Cade, who works alongside Britney, Cade Hudson, has claimed that Britney's book, as of now, has sold 9 million copies. Now, I'm not sure if that's in pre-order or how that all works. We don't have all of the little details of all of that. But that would be absolutely record breaking. It would shatter Prince Harry's record on his memoir. And for celebrity memoirs, this is probably going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, ever released based on that kind of information. Again, we will have to see what happens. But I think that that's incredible, because that was news that came out not yesterday, I believe, but I believe Wednesday night was when I saw it. So if that's the case, we've had another couple days of pre-orders potentially, and will have the weekend as well. I'm guessing this is probably because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be getting the Audible version, a digital version, and potentially a physical version. I have done all three. So there's lots of ways that people are going about this, not to mention that some people who are going to go see Crossroads, which has been re-released into theaters, um, for a couple of days next week. If they have the VIP package, there's also sold books that way as well. So there's lots of sales going on right now. The book is doing great, which honestly makes me happy because it does look like Britney is not going to be doing any sit down interviews to promote this book. And quite bluntly, I don't think she needs to. Because most of the time celebrities sit down and do these tell-all interviews because they want to create the headlines. They want to have those moments that now they're going to take over the news cycle. They're going to promote their book and it's going to be a big deal. A la Jada Pinkett Smith, we've seen this week, right? It's just keep on dropping as many little things and interviews and little clips and articles that you can make. But the thing is, Britney's basically sat back and done nothing. And all of these news outlets are just pumping out stories about her constantly. She's literally posted a video this week of her playing with her dog. And I wonder if Britney did sit down and do an interview at this point, would it be overexposure? I don't know. I know we all want to see her talk. We want to see this, but I think with some of the things that have come out about this book, I understand why she doesn't feel comfortable being put on the spot about it and talking about it. And ultimately, my priority as a fan is always that she is healthy, happy, feels safe. And if she is happy with dropping this book and letting it be, then she should be able to do that. It's kind of like the Taylor Swift, like there, what was it? There will be no explanation. There will just be reputation or something when she put out that record. Same deal. I feel like she's having a reputation moment and good for her. So I just had Shauna, OMG, you're live today. I am because there's too much stuff going on in the Britneyverse. It's a lot. So I'm trying my best to stay on top of it so I don't when I get back on next week, I'm not just drowning in everything because I'm also going to have to be focusing on the book next week, right? So it be what it be. It be what it be. All right. So to begin, Britney has made a statement as of about noontime Eastern Standard Time today, and I wanted to share that with you because, as always, I think it's important that we elevate Britney's voice, especially when salacious headlines are being spread. It always seems like the press is going to focus on that as opposed to what Britney wants people to take away from what she's saying. They're going to manipulate it and make it into their own thing. So, I try to make that a priority on this channel. So that's where we're going to start. So her statement as of today was, my book's purpose was not to offend anyone by any means. That was then. That is in the past. I don't like the headlines I'm reading. Yeah, that's exactly why I quit the business 4 years ago. Most of the book is from 20 years ago. I have moved on and it is a beautiful clean slate from here. Something I do want to comment on because I do see a lot of fans talking about it. I know a lot of people want to know more about things that have happened in recent years, particularly to do with the conservatorship. I just want to remind everyone that that's still under litigation. If there are not as many details in this book as we all would like regarding that point in her life, there are reasons why. I am sure she would love to just tell everyone everything, in my own opinion, just judging from what I know about her. But um, she has to follow legal advice, and she doesn't want to sabotage any potential justice that could be coming her way. So I think that's very important just to keep in mind. So most of the book is from 20 years ago. I have moved on, and it is a beautiful, clean slate from here. I am here to establish it that way for the rest of my entire life. Either way, this is the last of it, and happens. This is actually a book I didn't know needed to be written. Although some might be offended, it has given me closure on all things for a better future. Hopefully, I can enlighten people who feel particularly alone in most cases, or hurt or misunderstood. Again, my motive for this book was not to harp on my past experiences, which is what the press is doing, and it's dumb and silly, and I have moved on since then. Hashtag the woman in me. All right, so that's where she's at right now, and I think that that is fair. I did just see, thank you so much to Jen Vamp Vegas, if I could talk, for the super sticker, which is the puppy going, good job. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for supporting me the way that you do. I appreciate it. I see you here a lot. And thank you very much for thinking of me and sending the sticker. LTJ just said, who is the publisher and why did she choose them? Just wondering. I believe it's Simon and Schuster, if I'm remembering this correctly, unless I'm having a brain fart. And I believe she probably picked them because they paid her reported $15 million. I think a lot of us would probably consider. But I mean, I don't know any of the other details or any other offers she had, but I think it's worked out well. That's my opinion. So I want to say, after reading that statement, I feel like I understand what she's saying. However, I also understand why the public is having the reaction that they're having. So many have judged her based on lies or incomplete stories for years. And there is going to be a reaction when people have believed one thing for decades and now they see that they were wrong and that they were actually lied to. So there is going to be reaction. And I think that that is unavoidable. And with what I do, attempting to give clarity in certain situations and context, um, this is what I try to do because I want to make sure that things are represented effectively. I will be honest with you guys. There have been a few moments this week when I've been doing um, research on things, refreshing my mind with timelines before the book comes out because I want to kind of have an idea in my head of what I think I'm walking into. I've had my theories, a number of my theories this week have been proven right. And I want to be on it. I want to know what I'm talking about. But I remember in 2007, literally waking up in the morning and refreshing my news feeds and just hoping that she had survived the night. And wishing that there was something I could do while I watched this woman get absolutely dragged through the mud by the media and having her mental health be a punchline, and just her being treated so cruelly. And even though obviously I don't know her, I would never pretend to. But when someone has been so influential on your life and you want the best for them, it's very difficult to watch them go through something like that. And a part of me just wanted to give her a massive hug and try to be a supportive and encouraging voice for her. And that is always what I try to do. And that is where my heart is when I talk about these issues. So I hope that that's okay. I hope that that is understood. More people should be encouraging and supporting of Britney. She deserves it. So let's go. I did see just another super chat here. Thank you, Digital Dorothy, for that. I very much appreciate it. She has agree. Conservatorship will have to wait. What about Sam, I assume? Yes. Yeah, what about Sam? Okay. My understanding with Sam was that when the two of them split up, the manuscript had already been completed. And at that point, it's very difficult to change the book. Because it's already going through basically the machine. That was my understanding of what happened. So I don't think there's going to be a lot. And based on what I have seen, there isn't much discussion about Sam in the first place. So I don't think we're going to be getting any tea on that front whatsoever. I hope that answers your question. Aria sent in a $5 super chat. It's the hippos. Thank you for the hippos. Okay. I am going to lovingly be ignoring the chat from this point forward for a little bit because Kim Rant is incoming. All right? Okay. So when we talk about the things that have come out recently, we have to talk about Wade Robson. It broke this week that Britney admitted to cheating on Justin Timberlake with choreographer Wade Robson. We speculated about this on Wednesday on my show, and we actually looked over lyrics of an unreleased song called Guilty. And it looks like my suspicions were correct. Britney told us what happened a long time ago. Reportedly, Britney kissed Wade. They made out. One night. And this was after Justin had already cheated. She was angry about the reports of him cheating. She then confessed to Justin. And the two of them stayed together and moved on in their relationship. So, I understand that Britney is trying to not throw anyone under the bus, but this is important. So, when we look at the song of Guilty, like we talked about the other day, and I do apologize, I'm still getting over a cold, so if I'm a little sniffy or I'm a simple country lawyer, I apologize. I'm trying to make this better. So some of the lyrics from this song were, he told me I was pretty, I flirted, I'm guilty, I had no reason to lie, I told you 1,000 times, I warned you, you were in danger, he kissed me, I'm guilty. How do you sit there and say that I'm filthy when you were the one that made me guilty? And the chorus being, and you pushed your luck when you stood me up, and now it's all messed up, but you went too far when you broke my heart. So, again, it's there. It's there. Okay. But the full context of this is important because I would appreciate it if we could all take a trip in our minds, those of us that are old enough to remember, and go back to the early 2000s. And this was a culture where misogyny was entertainment. Famous women and their preferences, I'm going to say their adult preferences, because I can't say the words I want to say, they were under a microscope. If a woman was abstinent, she was a prude. If she wasn't, she was, insert insulting word here. If she had a lot of it, she was absolute garbage. If she didn't show skin, she was not desirable. And if she did, she was asking for the wrong kind of attention and was a terrible role model. This was a time where literally Janet Jackson's nipple practically stopped the world from spinning. I am not kidding. It was the most searched image in internet history. And looking at the media now, when we have women, when we have women like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Miley Cyrus, Shakira, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Pussycat Dolls, and so many other musicians who have really pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable when expressing themselves, I really believe that if a lot of the same things happened today that happened in the early 2000s, no one would care. But at the time, it was it was so scandalous. It was such a big deal. And I mean, we can argue whether or not that's a good or a bad thing. But what's important to remember is that Britney Spears was viewed as the pop culture sacrificial virgin and was held to a higher standard than everyone else. She literally had unaliving threats for dressing with her tummy exposed, discussions surrounding her breasts, even as an underage girl, were normalized. There was a countdown to when she turned 18. The obsession with Britney and her adult preferences was insane, and she was judged brutally and unfairly, even when her peers did the exact same thing. And although this event happens after the events we are talking about, I wanted to share this clip with you. This happened after the VMAs where Britney and Madonna kissed. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding that because, oh my gosh, two women kissed. But at the time, it was like, oh my gosh, everyone freaked out. So Britney went on Total Request Live in November of 2003. And she had this little interview between music videos. And I just want to show you this clip because when this happened, Britney kissed Madonna. The camera that showed them kissing directly panned to Justin because his reaction was the most important thing. The producers were producing that night. And when the camera switched back, they caught the tail end of Christina Aguilera and Madonna kissing. Now, partially, I think because of that, and also because just people did not care. No one cared that Madonna kissed Christina Aguilera. Like literally nobody cared. And I don't really understand how that happened, but nobody talked about it. Nobody cared. So we are talking about the VMAs. We are talking about that night where Britney Spears, Madonna, and Christina Aguilera were on the exact same stage. They both kissed her. And this is the discussion. I have it up full blast. I'm sorry if it's a bit quiet. This is the best I can do. Please let me know if there's any audio things. I'll see what I can do.
And which is kind of on a different note, and I was kind of shocked to see it because I'd only heard nice things coming out of your mouth about Christina, but in this new Blender magazine, she rips into Kelly Osbourne and Beyonce, and you saying that you had to kiss Madonna at the VMAs because you needed a gimmick, and she said these people aren't artists, they're just performers, fake and superficial.
But wait. So I don't know if you caught that. She literally just said that Christina Aguilera went on the record saying that artists like Britney Spears and Beyonce needed a gimmick and that they weren't actual artists. They were fake and superficial because Britney kissed Madonna. And this is a perfect example of the way that Britney Spears handled when people talked smack about her. This is how she responded. This was the spirit pretty much every time.
I'm gonna say this, but didn't she kiss her too?
Right. That's what threw me off about
she
that.
She kissed her too, right? But see, everyone's like, oh, they're wanting to, form a gimmick, but it's like, you know what? I'm just doing my job. The media's, they're the one who make it interpretate it that way.
Yeah.
Interpretate it. I'm just doing what I do.
Yeah.
And if they want to interpret it and misconstrue it in their way, let them misconstrue it.
Now,
So.
how do you respond to Christina, though? Because that's kind of like a personal pot shot. Like that.
You know what? I don't want to say anything.
Really?
I don't want to say anything.
No. She has an amazing voice. She's an amazing girl, but she says some things sometimes that are just kind of rude. And I don't.
You're seeing class.
She's kind of rude. She can be kind of rude. I would agree with that completely. So that is just an example of the hypocrisy that Britney had to deal with on a daily basis. Because it just was absolutely insane. Literally, Christina Aguilera dragging her for doing something that she literally did on that same stage 5 seconds later. But the thing is, people would be like, she's right. Christina's right. Britney's not really an artist. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Whatever. Whatever Britney did, she couldn't win. And she was constantly being torn apart by the media and judgmental people. So when Justin accused Britney of cheating on him and breaking his heart, it demonized Britney to the general public. And I cannot undersell how big of a deal this was in pop culture. Britney reportedly says in the book that she felt cursed after the breakup, and that Justin was oblivious to the power that he had when it came to shaming her. And the way he went on about this, crying to Barbara Walters and any radio station that would listen, people assumed she must have been a complete, well, insert not nice word here. YouTube human reviewer, as always, when it comes to these issues and trying to be appropriate on your platform and respecting your terms and conditions.
I'm trying.
So you can fill in the blanks. I'm sure you know what I'm trying to say. But now we know that Justin cheated on Britney first. She was pressured into ending a pregnancy. She was angry and she cheated. And when we say she cheated, she kissed Wade. And from the sounds of it, that's it. So, Britney, I know you don't like the press attacking everyone, and that wasn't the point of the book. But I have justified anger. And I have been waiting 20 years to vent about this because it was disgusting and you deserved better. And I'm going to say this right now. People knew. And I understand why some people didn't say anything because it wasn't their place. But I also can say that I have also heard many, many, many other rumors about Justin. And I can't authenticate any of them. So I'm going to say that it is completely speculation. I can't judge him on that. But I have thoughts. And it's this. I swear if you look up F-boy in the dictionary right now, a picture of Justin Timberlake's face should be there. That should be the definition. This man has no shame, no decency, and the most fragile ego I have ever seen. And to really have the audacity to be through a source like that, he's not concerning himself with this book. Bro, really? Really? You lied. You lied. You went on international television whining to Barbara Walters and brought your mom in for sympathy because you couldn't handle your girlfriend kissing a guy when you were with other people. Excuse me? And I'm sorry, I'm going to play it because I don't forget these things. I just don't. I would like you all to see the incredible maturity and ridiculousness of this man. Keeping in mind what we know now, his behavior beforehand, the issues with the pregnancy, and now the fact that he was also freaking out over a kiss. Because that's what this is about. This is about a kiss. Okay?
It's a very intense relationship. That's for sure.
So you had your chance to be my lover.
Although Justin says that all the lyrics on his new CD come from his own experience, he denies that any were written specifically for Britney.
She better just come get you.
Yet when we sat down at the piano and asked him to play something from Justified, he chose instead to play a song that nobody has ever heard before. Interesting lyrics.
Thought our love was so strong. I guess I was dead wrong. But to look at it positively, hey girl, at least you gave me another song about a horrible woman.
The breakup with Britney has been...
Can we all just take a moment and just be like, how whiny is this? You got a whole album to promote. You got Barbara Walters listening, and she goes, play me a song off of your record. And he goes, nah, I'm going to sing a song about another horrible woman, heavily alluding to it being Britney Spears. I cannot handle the cringe of this. Like, this is the type of thing I expect from a 12-year-old on his live journal. I just can't. Like,
devastating for Justin. And just as with everything else in his life, he turned to his mother for help. When Justin and Britney broke up, and he has...
I want to say something very quickly because we are going to see Justin Timberlake's mother. I am not here to drag Justin Timberlake's mother. Everything I have heard about her, she is a lovely, lovely woman. And I don't want to cast any judgment on her whatsoever, especially since we've seen reports this week that there were things about this breakup that reportedly his family didn't know. So I am not trying to be rude to her. I'm just more making a point that this grown man had to go on Barbara Walters and bring his mommy when he was crying about his breakup with Britney over a kiss. That's my point. And I hope that's understandable.
He said publicly that he cried himself to sleep at night, and it was a broken
cried
heart.
himself to sleep.
What did you as a mom say?
I cried with him and said, it'll be okay. Tomorrow I'll come. I just want him to be happy. He was heartbroken.
Put your head on mommy's shoulder.
It was tough for us. It was tough for both of us because I can't stand to see him hurt.
Can you imagine that someday you might be back together again with her, or is it a case now of just
so painful?
That's so tough to say.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in my life, if you really want to know who my girlfriend is, it's those 13 songs on that CD.
But not counting the one that you felt like you had to play Barbara because you had to get that other little jab in. Okay. The professionalism, y'all. This is why I have no sympathy. Because this is the way that he did. And I mean, that's really the tame version of some of the things that he did. I mean, he went on radio stations. He was absolutely filthy. He was disgusting with what he talked about, with how he tried to drag her. It's absolutely gross. It's absolutely gross. I got to get back to my script. So again, I just want to hammer home all of this pop culture phenomenon era thing that went on. This was over a kiss. And to quote the Killers, it started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? How are we 20 years later? 20 years later now having this conversation. And not only that, but Britney told Justin. She said what she did. She told him. He found out from her. And I'm not saying that what Britney did was okay. I would be very upset if my husband kissed somebody else. But oh my gosh, I would not do a whole press tour about it to make myself more famous. And earlier in that Barbara Walters interview, he said that when they broke up, they sat down and they talked about it. But he broke up with her over text message. Justin. When I was a younger teen, there was a viral video that went around called Shiz. And it was done by a performer named Kelly was the character. I got to look up what the actual name of the person was. Because I want to give him credit. I think it was Liam Kyle Sullivan. Yes, Liam Kyle Sullivan. He was a comedian and he wrote these incredible sketches about Kelly, and Kelly went and bought shoes because let's get some shiz. And it was a big thing. But literally there was another song that he did with that character called Text Message Breakup. Because you can't text message breakup after years. It's so embarrassing. It is literally just like the most cringy thing ever. I feel like this is like a Joe Jonas move. We literally talked about trying to figure out how to put in Taylor Swift's and I'm not going to talk about that in my monologue. Like I wanted to grab a guitar and just do it. It's just the most ridiculous thing. I don't have patience for it. And this is where I get very angry. Trigger warning for some of you, we're going to be talking about the ending of the pregnancy. And again, as I have said beforehand, I will not tolerate any judgment in this chat of anyone regarding this issue. This is a personal decision. We cannot force our beliefs on other people. It's fine you have your opinion, but not everybody else has to share it on both sides. And we need to respect people and have empathy for them because this is an incredibly, incredibly difficult situation. What we have found out is that they chose to have the procedure done at home. It was excruciatingly painful for Britney. It took hours. And when it was done, Britney cried on the bathroom floor while Justin played his guitar. So, Justin, keep crying. Cry. Cry like she did on that bathroom floor while you picked at your guitar when you should have stepped up and been a decent human being and actually respected her. Like you keep saying you respect her, but you didn't and you don't. It's like the Princess Bride meme. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it means because this isn't it. The way you've handled this is not it. The way that you handled it back then, that was not it. I don't believe a word coming out of your mouth because you lied and you used women like Britney Spears, like Janet Jackson, and you said you were sorry, yet you have not taken accountability for the reality of your actions because we are still finding out what the reality of those actions were. I don't believe he will ever recover from this. Us fans who have defended her for years from this stupid narrative you made and profited off of, we're done. We are so done. Your fan fiction is over, and it is your turn to cry. Britney deserved better than you. I want better for her, and she has every right to share her side of this story. And I understand that her goal was not to drag Justin through the mud. But the thing is, it's almost like when someone cheats off of another person in school and then they fail their test because they cheated. And the cheater says to the person they copied off of, you made me lose that test. No, they didn't. You did it to yourself. You had 20 years to set the record straight. You had 20 years to be a decent person and you weren't. I hope this book breaks every record in the world, and I hope people never forget it. What goes around comes back around, Justin. I thought I told you. But we have to keep moving because there's other things in this book. All right. Goose Fraba. Next thing I wanted to touch on was Colin Farrell. So reportedly, his lawyers did have concerns about him being in this book. Now, I am not surprised about that whatsoever because Colin Farrell has had some issues in the past. I believe there was an intimate tape of him that was released without his consent. And after that, there was some stuff that went down, and I'm sure that he has lawyers that want to make sure that he's protected. Because I have sympathy for that. I really do, because it sucks. When you're violated in that way and then other people are running their mouth and you're trying to keep some sense of privacy. And I'm sure that's probably, like, in my opinion, I think that's probably part of the reason why his lawyers got involved. But from the sounds of it, there isn't anything super embarrassing or anything. Basically, they had a short fling. It was wild and they moved on. So, according to this article, which I have linked in the doc, Britney Spears' brief 2003 fling with Colin Farrell was so hot and heavy that she compared it to a brawl in her upcoming memoir. Brawl is the only word for it. We were all over each other, grappling so passionately it was like we were in a street fight. A source told Us Weekly that she writes about having, I'm going to say, the guts to drive on the set of his movie SWAT, which is where they met. She also details attending the Recruit premiere wearing a full-blown pajama top on the red carpet. Farrell, however, shut down any hint of romance at the time. We're not dating. She's a sweet, sweet girl, he told reporters. Nothing going on, just mates. So that's it. From the sounds of it, there's your Colin Farrell fix, which, I mean, it's a little bit like I was expecting more. There may be more, right? I don't have the book in my hands. I can only go by what the press is saying. But that's all I know. That is all I know at the time. And this headline. This headline is my favorite. Britney Spears shades ex Kevin Federline's failed rap career. Bless his heart. Britney Spears shades ex-husband Kevin Federline's failed attempt at making it as a rapper in her forthcoming memoir, The Woman in Me. The toxic singer savagely writes, bless his heart, while reflecting on K-Fed taking his short-lived rap career so seriously. Spears, 41, also touches on the public doubting Federline's musical talents during their marriage, according to the magazine. Federline, 45, notoriously debuted his first song, Y'all Ain't Ready, which no, we weren't. And I don't think it was that we weren't ready. We just didn't want it. And followed by the critically panned Popozow. Longtime watchers of my channel know Popozow has made a few appearances on this channel. I'm not going to put you guys through that today because we've got a long show. But yeah, Popozow. We all bob our head. Play that in our head. That was a jam. So, bottom line is, I don't know what else is coming when it comes to this book. There's going to be a lot of other secrets that'll probably come out. I'm sure there's things in the book that fans and the public will find interesting that the press is not running with in headlines right now, right? Because they're going to go for the most salacious or crazy. But there's going to be other things that I think are important for context. I am very interested to see how much is spoken about for the years of 2007 and 2008, which I believe is going to be talked about in this book. So my plan right now for this, so you guys know, I have done everything in my power to try to get this book. This book is under lock and key. Like it's next to impossible. And I am hoping that there may be a remote possibility that I might get it before release date. I'm not putting my eggs in that basket. So I have set up everything that the moment it is legal for people in my country to receive the book, it will all be sent to me within moments, and I will begin my journey. I'm not planning on sleeping. I'm not planning on anything else. I am planning on digging into this book so I can hopefully be on here with you guys and let you know my review of it as quickly as possible. That being said, I think that this is a book that people are going to want to read. I am going to encourage you, if you are on the fence about getting this book, just get it. Just order it, man. People are reading this. If Kate is right, 9 million copies? 9 million? That's wild. That is wild. And I think that it is really important to talk about this when it comes to a cultural stance. That we remember what it was like in that time frame and what Britney was subjected to. So I think it's time. Let me double check here. Tony just asked, are you going to be reading it out loud? That would be so cool. No, I can't. I don't think that I can legally do that, in all honesty. I will give you my thoughts. And I'm sure there are going to be things in that book that are going to stick out to me that may not stick out to other people. So that's kind of why I really want to get through it, because I know there are probably going to be a couple of headlines that reviewers and the media kind of hold on to, but there may be other stuff that I think is really important for different reasons, and I can justify, or that word now, that I can explain why it's that important and give the context in full to you guys so you get why I care about that. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So those are the headlines for today.
FYI, you did get rated by Nerd Report as well.
Oh, I was just informed that I was rated by Nerd Report when I was ranting. Thank you very much. Thank you, Lewis. Hello. It's been 30 years. I very much you supported me like that. By the way, Lewis, if you are watching, can you please allow me to redirect my streams to Nerd Report Daily? Because you have to allow that. And I've tried a couple of times and I can't. And I'd love to be able to raid you, especially on the channel that you're trying to build. So yeah, if you could do that for me, that'd be sweet. And if you have already, I'm sorry, just nobody's told me. So yeah. Okay. But hello. Hello, troopers. Hello, everybody from Nerd Report. I'm very happy to see you guys here. And I know there's definitely a shared community between us. So it is good to see you, and much love to all of you. I also see it looks like Tammy K did a super chat, but didn't say anything. Tammy, is there anything you want to say? Because if you do, you're welcome to put it in the chat, and I can ask producer sister to keep her eye out for it, and then I can share it with the class. Essentially. Also, Elizabeth Lacey has gifted 5 memberships, which brings us up to 15 gifted memberships today. Thank you very much, Elizabeth, for your generosity on that front. I very much appreciate that. It means a lot. Thank you for bringing people into this community, and welcome to all of the new Space Angels. It is great to see this community grow. So normally what we do with this part in this show is we have kind of like a halftime. We just talk about stuff. If you guys have any comments, you want to ask me any questions, I will do my best to answer them. And we can just kind of have a little bit of a discussion, because this is part of why I like to do this, because it's so much fun to be able to interact and in real time be able to have these conversations, as opposed to me sitting in front of my camera alone trying to guess what people are curious about, what they want to know, and trying to answer questions in advance. So I am just going to double check here. I'm just going to look through the chat a little bit and see if there's anything else I can I can answer. Elizabeth Thompson said, "OMG, bless his heart. I love her so much." I've heard that is British slang, or not British, country slang for like, "Aw, you tried." I don't know how you would define it. If anybody that uses that and it knows kind of how else it could be described, please let me know. I'm definitely not from the South. I'm from the true North, so be what it is. Yeah. Sage Warrior just said, Britney narrates the opening of the book, but Michelle Williams narrates the full book. I imagine it would be too difficult to get through emotionally for Britney. I can't blame her, really. No, I don't blame her at all. I do not blame her at all. Kristen, how did you get this book? Kim, I can buy the book and have it shipped to your address. Let me know. Where? Like, it's not out yet. Like, do you know somewhere it's out? Because it shouldn't be. There will be lawyers. Thank you for the offer, though. But I do have a few other things going on in the background. I'm likely going to have a couple physical copies. So, yeah. Soki, hello, said it's Kim. If it's not already the case, I think The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this itch is a good meme to add to the list, as I think it's going to be a recurrent thing. I mean, I could definitely see that. I could see that. I've been trying to figure out how to put in some of the ones from I Think You Should Leave, the comedy show on Netflix. Especially like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? Like, I love that whole thing. I love that show so much. What did they do to us? It's so funny. It's so funny. If you like off the wall sketch comedy, you need to watch that show because it is so funny. It is amazing. I showed producer sister a little bit of it the other day, and she just was looking at me like, "What is that?" For those of you that have seen it, I showed her the baby of the year, and I'm all like screaming at the baby and hating him. Yeah, the look on her face was great. Oh, Kristen, Amazon pre-order? Yes, I have it pre-ordered. No worries. You don't need to do that for me. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you very much. The only thing that I'm kind of bummed that I don't think I'm going to be able to get is there's a special VIP version of the book that is available through AMC, which is not a thing where I live. And there's no way I have the time right now to like go to the States for the movie and come back when this is going to be the week of me trying to get through this book and answer questions and everything else. I can't afford to lose that day. I did. Producer sister just asked if anyone in Canada picked it up. I did go on the website. I did look to see if I could find anything, and I did not. I mean, that could be a failure on my part. Like maybe I just didn't look hard enough. Which I admit it could be the possibility. But yeah, it is what it is. Yes, King Bob, it is it's coming out on the 24th with a th. Thank you. Thank you. Producer sister, I was scared. I Think You Should Leave. The Pet Wellness Coach, I was talking about the show I Think You Should Leave. It's on Netflix. It is a sketch comedy show by a comedian who was a writer and a performer on SNL. And you can tell that there's a number of these sketches that probably were pitched at SNL. Like they're kind of that style that it would have happened, but it was too off the wall. It kind of reminds me a bit of some of the sketches I've heard about John Mulaney writing that never made it. So it's fun. It's fun. Lorraine Fitzke said, Justin is awful. To ride on her coattails, disrespect her so he could get more fame, force her to end the pregnancy. And he cheated first. That sums it up. And then went and cried about it. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sexy Green Eyes 1117 said, "What? There's a VIP book? I never heard about this. Apparently, there's like a special, like the where the pages all are. It's not the spine. The other side of the book. There's like something airbrushed on it. Was what I read. So yeah, that's a thing. All right. Kristen Justin isn't big in Amber. I mean, funny how truth comes out though." Jen Van Vegas, off topic, but did you go see the Eras tour movie yet, Kim? Funny story. No, and I'm really upset about it, but it's okay. Basically, producer sister, and I and my husband and my father and my mother all got very, very sick last week. And producer sister and I actually had bought tickets like as soon as they dropped. We like ran and we got our tickets. And I believe producer sister, did you call the theater? Or
I did the online.
yes, she did the online basically return because the night before we knew we weren't going to be able to do it because I mean producer sister was very, very sick. We had one stream last week where producer sister was not actually in here with me. She was in bed because that was where she needed to be. So we decided we were going to wait until we were better, and we were going to enjoy it and not be like, sneezing and coughing through the whole thing and be miserable. Also, like our voices were not great either. So
I tried to sing, I just coughed and sneezed more.
yeah, and I'm sorry. When I'm in there, I want to be able to scream like I'm drunk in the back of the car and I cried like a baby on the way home from the bar and don't call me kid, don't call me baby. Look at this godforsaken mess that you made me. And I want to scream about the red scarf and I want to have all those moments. And yeah, I would not be able to have those moments the way that we were last weekend. So I mean, we need to look at rescheduling it. I'm kind of actually hoping maybe we can get it at like a weird time and then like we could have like the theater to ourselves and then we can just like lose it. But I also want to make friendship bracelets before we go, just because like I want one that just says yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna spell it, but I want it. Yeah, it was funny. Producer sister just said, "Yeah, I'm still leaving the room during this stream to cough. We are trying very hard to not be simple country lawyers on this stream. It is difficult. It is difficult." Oh, Jalissa, you're so funny, Kim. I want to say I try, but I don't. But I'm glad that my weirdness is entertaining to some people. I'm glad it's found a home. I never thought years ago when I was like obsessing over some of this stuff that anyone would ever care what I had to say. Here we are. So thank you all for giving me an outlet to be weird and be myself and share all this stuff with you. Just so you all know, we do have a What the What today. For any of you that are new here that have not seen my stream before, we always have kind of a section after we've gone through the headlines and we've just talked for a bit, where we look at something from the internet that's funny or entertaining or interesting, crazy, all that type of stuff. And then we just kind of all enjoy it together and have a good time. And we have sagas that we go through from Reddit. And we had quite the saga on Wednesday. I can't believe how many of you guys are sending me comments being like, we need part 2. We need part 2. We need part 2. This is insane. And I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying it. I think it's really fun. But part th, as Katie Artis just said, part 2 is done. Almost. I thought,
need to read it, proof it one more
yeah, we got to proofread it, make sure we've taken out any bad words because YouTube human reviewer, as always.
I'm trying.
So we do have that ready. However, we're going to wait and do it on Monday. So any of you who missed part 1, I would highly recommend that if you have time this weekend and you just want to hear one of the most insane stories I have ever heard in my life, check out the stream before this one. It's the one where Justin Timberlake looks like he's crying on it. We go through that story, and it is quite a story. So we will talk about this on Monday. And we have something different for today. Because I wanted to give people more time, because I know how, like, I see it in the comments. Like, a lot of you just are so invested in this, and I wanted to make sure that people that normally watch me on Mondays and Wednesdays, they may not have the time to be able to watch me on Fridays. I didn't want to do this without them. So that was the judgment call that we made. I hope that that makes sense and you guys are okay with it. But yes, if you missed part 1, like I see Ray said, dang, I missed part 1. Go watch part 1. Watch part 1. Watch it this weekend. It's entertaining. My fella actually watched it after. He wasn't able to catch my stream when it was live. So I was in my room, like, just trying to, like, I was actually preparing for more streams. Like, I was doing more research and everything. So I just, like, laptop on my lap, on my headboard, like leaning on my headboard. My husband's entertainment unit is on that wall in the next room. So I can sometimes hear a bit of, like, what he's watching, and he had it on, and I would just hear the odd, like, I'm what? No. And then he would, like, run into the room and, like, say something to me about it, and then run back in and keep watching. And he was going to producer sister. My fella is not a dramatic person. I don't know how to put that. He does not get invested in things like that ever. So yes, Rando, go watch part 1 when you can. Go watch part 1. Because it's worth it. It's worth it. It's crazy. Ray just said 226 people watching right now. Hi. Thank you. Thank you for choosing me. I know you have a lot of other options. And it floors me that people are. I do want to ask, though, that you would please consider liking this stream if you have not already. I assume you do like it because you're here. It'd be weird if you didn't and you're still here. If you don't like it and you're still here, I really hope you find other things to do that make you happy. Because it's weird, you know? But yeah, please consider liking this stream. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please also consider doing so. I am trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. I am manifesting that. I am putting it out into the universe, and I would love for you to be a part of that journey with me. Also, YouTube's be doing the YouTubes, and there has been some unsubscribing going on. I've been getting messages from people that they've been getting unsubscribed. So if you thought you were subscribed to me, maybe double check. And if you're not, or you were unsubscribed, please let me know. As well, always check with your favorite creators and make sure that you are still with them. This is an issue that affects far more than me. It affects many creators, and it sucks and it's unfair. And I hate watching my colleagues, my peers, people that I care about go through the same thing, because it really sucks. It's very discouraging, and we all want each other to do well, you know? So that's kind of, if that makes sense. I hope we're good. Oh, Stage Warrior just said, new sub here. Thanks so much for covering this story. Thank you for being here. For any of you who are new to my channel, I do tend to cover Britney stuff, but I also cover other stuff too. I've been covering a lot of the drama that's been going on with 8 Passengers. And before anybody says anything to me, I have not had the time to watch Swoop's documentaries yet. That is happening this weekend. I am so excited. I'm literally like, I kind of want to grab like a bottle of wine and just sit down and try to enjoy it before the book comes out and have a moment. I've heard that there was a big Emily D. Baker shout out, which, like, can we please talk about how it's like 2 of my favorite YouTubers, like, in the same thing? I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't handle this. It's so excited, and I love seeing us do great. I love seeing YouTubers winning. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I do cover a lot of that, and that is a story. If you don't know anything about it, strap in, because it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And it is wild. It is absolutely wild. And I also like to cover a lot of other pop culture stuff, just stuff that's important to me. And I'm also open to hearing about what you guys would like me to cover. And I can see what I can find out. Obviously, this, for me, with Britney, this is like this is the Super Bowl of Britney when we're talking about stuff like this. And I've been all my life I've been waiting for this moment, like Kristen Bell being like, all my life I'm waiting for this moment to meet the sloth. All my life I've been waiting for this moment for this book. So that's part of why I'm focusing so much on this, but we normally do talk about other things as well. So if Britney isn't your biggest thing, that's fine. There's other stuff here. And there's also always the what to what. The what, which is always fun. And we're a fun community here. You know, we like to have this be a safe place. Come as you are, have a good time. Let's laugh. Let's have empathy. Let's relate to each other. And on the odd time, I do rant. Sometimes I rant. Some people really like it when I rant. Some people don't. Sorry about that, but sometimes it's needed. Sometimes the rants are justified. Yeah, Beth S just said Swoop's videos were amazing. I love her coverage. She's so good. She's so good. I'm in awe. I'm always in awe. Ashley Zana said, I almost never make the lives. Replays are good, but the live is so much better. The group has good energy. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it. I hope to keep the energy good. I really do. I think the thing with the lives is I actually did have somebody ask me on Instagram, they're like, are you ever making YouTube videos again? And it's like, well, I technically am. They're just a lot longer and a lot more frequent because it takes me the same amount of time to prepare for a stream and stream than for me to prepare for a 10-minute video and record the video because of how much research I do and everything that I dig into. So it's better for me to be able to do it this way. It's easier on me, in all honesty. And then I can give you guys hours worth of content more than what I could give you with just videos. I'm not saying I will never do videos again. I think maybe deep dives and things like that. I may actually do my review for the book as a video. I don't know yet, but you know, it's not over, but it's just I really do enjoy streaming. It's one of my favorite things in the world. So that's what I think ultimately my views have been better. The engagement has been better. It's easier on me. It makes more sense. I hope that makes some sense. Tony just said, I hope she talks about the Barbara Walters and Diane Sawyer interviews. I think she does talk about Diane a little bit. From what I've seen, I think she does. Because that was a mess. That was a mess. That would be a fun deep dive video, actually, just pulling that apart. But I think that actually would probably become like a half-hour video at least.
Might as well do a live.
Yeah, might as well do a live at that point. It would be a nightmare. Ray just said, when will we get the Jackson Sims? Oh my goodness, the messed up house. I have to figure that out. Because the laptop that I normally play Sims on is not working properly right now. And I don't know if any of you guys have been having issues with the EA app that plays Sims. I hate that thing. I hate that app so much. It's just been a nightmare. So I don't know. I don't know, but I know what you mean. And I would still love to do it. We'll keep going. Pardon?
Get through the book first.
Yeah, let's get through the book. Get through the book. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. I just got a cough. Okay. So, Ray's like, same. Okay, so you're having issues too. EA, I have feelings. I have rage issues with you right now. So, yeah, we're not getting on that rant, though. We'll be here all day.
All day.
And I can only keep you here till 4. No. We're going to go past 4 likely because it's 3:30 right now where I am. So, yeah, we're keeping you here past 4. I think. Anyway. So. Oh, no, I just hate it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Carbonite Stardust, I couldn't make the Jacksonville Manor on The Sims. That front door would drive me bonkers. I think it's like if you hit control and you have move objects on, you can probably go off grid a bit. We could do it. It would be infuriating. But yes, Rando, dear EA, get your ish together. Is it like the Rick and Morty quote? Like, put it in a bag, put it in a box, take it back to the ish store, just get it together. Get your ish together. Yes, and the Chaos Droid, it's not just The Sims that EA messes up. Oh, you are 100% correct. EA, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Janai just said thanks for reeling her back in, producer sister. We balance each other. We balance each other out. It works. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. It's okay. We're fine. All right. Hi, Bear. Lacey's just looking up at me. I don't know if you guys can see her that well. Hi, Bear. Back to sleep. She's a very sleepy girl this morning. We woke up. Normally, she's like ready to go to bed, like ready to get up from bed always. She's usually the one getting me up. And today she was just like, no, I want to keep sleeping. I want to sleep. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, she is. She tired. She tired. Well, guys, are we ready for a what the what? Are we ready? Waiting to see with the chat. It's always the delay. I hate the delay, but I get it. It is what it is. KDR 94. Here we go. All right.
Carbonized just said wait.
Wait. Why carbonized? What's going on? And I mean, that's going to make you wait longer because you're going to have to like tell us, but like, what's going on? Okay, carbonized started. It is not about Dan. That is going to be on Monday. The saga will continue on Monday. No, the saga is continuing on Monday. I'm doing this because the normal stream days for this channel are Monday and Wednesday. Friday, this is a bonus stream. We are doing this because of Britney coverage and how insane it is becoming. But I know there's a lot of people that can't make it on Fridays, and I don't want to exclude them because you guys have been very, very passionate about this story. Soki, I have not seen any news about Joe, which is another saga that we've had in the past. What is it with these 3-letter word men? Joe and Dan suck. Judy, right. I can't wait for part 2 of Poor Dan. Do it for Dan. Do it for Dan. Yes, Stephanie, there was a re-release of the Crossroads soundtrack. There's new remixes. I'm sure you can go check it out. I have heard that if you actually go like to Spotify, I don't know if they fixed it, but if you put in Britney Spears, it doesn't come up. You have to literally put in Crossroads. So yeah, if you're interested, go check it out. Go check it out. Carbonite starts the case of the 3-lettered man. Matora Art just said Dan's existence has been haunting me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are in the second half of October, which means literally in 11 days, it is Halloween, which is crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm trying to get myself ready for Halloween right now. I'm going to try to decorate my set a little bit, probably over the weekend, because I am excited. I am excited. Halloween's one of my favorite things. And we thought it would be funny to look, or like interesting to look at Halloween decorations. Little inspiration, entertaining, having those discussions. Sometimes these, like, I haven't seen any of them. Producer sister curates this content for me, so I react authentically alongside all of you. So I think we can have some fun with this, and let's take a look at Halloween. This is gonna be epic. Thank you, Project Metal Music. Okay. Sage Warrior just said every time is charting again, but y'all probably know that. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I kind of want to take a look at Brazil's numbers because they always blow me away with how quickly things chart there. All right. So Halloween decorations. Let's go. Pumpkins plus skeletons plus a kraken makes pumpkins. Why is there a kraken coming out of the house? One of these things just doesn't belong here. Like, Why? What? And the thing is, what's getting me is this house actually kind of does look a little bit like the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Like I'm getting those vibes with that type of like the architecture and stuff. Why? Have any of you ever included Krakens in your Halloween decorating? So I did see a comment there. I have to put up. Captain Corey would have loved this. He absolutely would have. But I feel like it probably would have just been like a pirates thing in general. Like it just would have been all piratey things. Is my pirate for him there. I don't know if it would just be the Kraken. It's interesting. It's interesting. I love the big skeletons though. They're fun. They're fun. Okay, so the comments here. I'd love to be rich so I could do this kind of thing. I know. The things we would do if we had money. I'd love to live there. I'm guessing you get the most trick-or-treaters in town. I mean, they probably do. I mean, I would go to that house. I'd go to the Kraken house. And that's the thing too. You know that it would literally be like just we would be referring to your house as the Kraken house if that was the case. Past the Kraken house. Clarifying, we're not talking about, the first half of that word. We're talking about Kraken before we kept going.
If they can afford this much for decorations, they have good candy.
Oh, and that's true. Producer Sister just said if they can afford this much for decorations, they can afford good candy. Fair. I love General Scott. This person can afford Starbucks. In the fancy cups. All right. Next one. My raven and my crow mantle this year. That's actually cute. It's a lot of ravens, though. That's a lot of ravens. I keep looking and I'm seeing more ravens. And the skulls in the fireplace are interesting, too. I hope you don't turn on the fireplace. Unless it's like an electric and it's a fake flame. But, like, don't put things in your fireplace. Okay, this is going to be like a Call Me Chris moment. I'm starting to have this. Don't put things in your fireplace that aren't supposed to be there and then turn it on. Okay? Fire safety. Makes me think of Hitchcock's Bird. Nicely spooky. Nevermore. Yeah, pretty much. Definite Edgar Allan Poe vibes here. I have to say, though, I like all the little pumpkins. And there's a few, it almost looks like little Jack Skellington shout-outs. I actually love that little stacked little 3 pumpkin on the floor. That's really cute. I'd buy that. That's cute. Yeah, that's cool. King Pop. I see 17. Oh my goodness. It is a lot. It is a lot of ravens. Like, I feel like my brain immediately focused on the mantle and I wasn't looking around. And then I started seeing them like on the, like, I feel like there's a couple of them on the shelves that are half cut off. It's a lot of ravens. My neighbor's Halloween decorations. Is that on like Barbies?
Yep.
Carrying a body? You gotta be kidding! They're all like, oh my gosh! Oh, there's a mermaid sitting on top of the body. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is amazing. It's so dark. I love that. This is my favorite so far. It took me a minute. Yeah. It kind of feels like, is this what would have happened in Toy Story if Sid didn't start behaving? Like, we would have had all of the toys just holding him up on the front lawn.
This is the R version retaliation.
Yeah, this is the R version of Toy Story. This is... Oh my gosh. That's great. That is fantastic. Oh my gosh. So comments were fairies. Nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. I love how the mermaid one is just sitting casually on top of the body. Is this like Gulliver's Travels gone wrong? This is brilliant. I always thought those dolls were up to something. Yeah. I kind of want to know though, like what each of them are. Like it looks like there's one with like a staff that's like overseeing it. Like I feel like there's the doll that's on the far left and it's kind of going like, okay, we're good. Keep going. Keep going. You know what I mean? Like directing traffic. And then you have the other person that's just like overseeing it. I'm like, if that is that like Elsa or Anna or something? Because it's just different levels of how funny that is depending on things. Oh my gosh. It's funny. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Halloween dream. Oh, they have all the puppies. This is me in the afterlife, y'all. Oh my gosh. I love how they all have different leash colors. That's too cute. And one of them has a little wig on. That's adorable. And their skeleton ears. Oh, that's so cute. I would love to see if there was like a decoration of Scraps, the dog from Corpse Bride. Like I know I see a lot of zeros around from Nightmare Before Christmas, as they should be. But I think Scraps is really cute. I feel like he's underrated. That's cute. So the comments are skeleton ears, bah ha ha. I know it's not logical, but in my opinion, skeletal animals look so much better with ears. It's true though. They do. They do. They do. I think it also gives it kind of that distance from like the realism.
Yeah.
So it isn't as disturbing. It's just fun. Missed the chance for the title to be Halloweener dogs. Yep. I may not have a house, but I've got a balcony. Wow. They understood the assignment and they went for it. That's actually really cool. That's cool. Yeah, properly spooky. Nice job. You took a small space and made it spectacular or ghouler. I hate upvoting this because it's such a bad pun, but yeah. I think it would be so cool to drive by and see that. Little kids must love it. Little kids, I think everyone would love it. Great use of the balcony. 100%. 100%. That's fun. That's fun. I like that there's different levels of it too. That is well set. Good set decoration in all fairness. And all of the pumpkins, like, is that all just like electric tea lights or whatever? Because that probably would take forever to turn on. My goodness. All right. Upgrading thrift store finds into Halloween decorations. Ooh, we love this. We love thrift finds. Did someone take Mary and make her to scream? I'm sorry, that just reminds me of one thing I've seen recently that really broke me. It was just like an Instagram reel, and it was this little girl, and she was at the dollar store, and she went over by the prayer candles, and she pulled one out of the Pope, and she looks at her mom, and she goes, "They put Joe Biden on one of these now." I love that. I love this stuff. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then they take the little like the doll girl and make her into like the Coraline type. That's really cool. And the houses, so like the church gets spooky, the house gets spooky. That's so cool. And what a great idea. Especially if you can get good finds and you're good at painting. Like if I tried to do this, it would not look good. It would be bad. It'd be very, very bad.
Different kind of nightmares.
Yeah, different kind of nightmares. Not the nightmares we're going after, but this is really neat. Yeah, very, very neat. And I love the Coraline reference. Zombie attack. I wrapped my friends in duct tape and stuffed them into the forms to make this Halloween display. Oh my gosh. That would have been so much work. But fun. And it does look very good. Especially the ones on the roof. Those are crazy. Those are wild. Do you have space to store all of those though? Or like when you're done, do you just completely dismantle them and then do it again the next year? Seems like a lot of work. You just have like bodies in your storage room, just stacked on top. Or you have a storage unit and they see you on camera coming in with all these bodies. Oh my goodness. Okay. So comments here. What do you mean wrapped friends in duct tape? That's scary. Wrap someone in plastic wrap and then in duct tape to strengthen, avoiding their nose and mouth. Instant realistic looking dummy, even posable. Very interesting. They don't need to be zombies, but that many people coming to my house would make me probably poop my pants and laughing. It is. It's very thorough. It's very, very thorough. My salute to them. My salute. Good job. To have fun with a Halloween decoration. Oh my gosh, what did I just say? What did I just say? Eventually, somebody that doesn't get it is going to call the popo. The cops are going to show up. They're going to be confused. They don't get paid enough for this. They're probably very annoyed when they have to go out for these calls. But I mean, it does look fairly realistic, in all fairness. Oh, can you imagine being that cop and having to be like, sir, can you explain to me why there is a body on your front lawn? And the person just comes out like a la Lindsay Lohan in Mean Girls and like the death, like a ex-wife death bride going like, it's Halloween. Oh my gosh. So funny. So funny. I have wanted to make these since I was a kid. I love Halloween. Those look creepy. Oh, that actually really, I don't like that. That's scary to me. I don't like that. That makes me, it's unsettling. It's unsettling is the word. Very unsettling, but very well done. Very well done. Oh my goodness. Nothing beats the classics. That is a beautiful picture. I mean, the sky and everything all at the same time. Don't you mean bootiful? Mm-hmm. Looks like 5 scary kids would be very scary at night. Oh, yeah. Sky cooperated nicely. Absolutely. It's nice when things like that all just kind of come together. Just come together. Okay, so I think this is probably the last one. Okay. Naturally carved pumpkin.
This is one that all of us can do.
Instead of carving the jack-o'-lantern myself this year, I poked a bunch of small holes in a pumpkin and stuffed the holes with peanut butter. Then I let the squirrels go at it for 2 days. And the result is something truly disturbing. I have equal parts, like, I don't think that's a good idea, and also I want to do it. Like, I can't. It's like the devil and the angel on my shoulder being like fighting with each other, and I'm just like, but it would be entertaining. Oh my goodness. Katie Artist 94. I just saw your comment. I'm trying to pull that up. Where is it? I've seen this before. It's always hilarious. Like in person, or have you like seen it on the internet? Yeah, like it's hilarious. DVD said it's hilarious. And Pixie Dust 1958 said, what? I don't know what to say. Right out from Iowa. That's a fun idea. I think I must try it. Ooh, Jalissa said, I've seen that done with chickens too. Oh, so like you put chicken feed in the pumpkin and let the chickens go at it? I hope that that's what we're talking about. Now my brain's going in different places. I don't think that's where it's supposed to go. Oh, King Bob, you don't need to use peanut butter. They eat them anyway. At least ours do. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, be careful doing that depending on where you live. You never know what critters may show up in your yard. Yeah. I got a lot of critters in our area. I don't want wild turkeys showing up on our front lawn.
And there are turkeys down the street.
Yeah.
And chickens.
It'd be a lot. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So Katie Artist 94 said, I wish I've done it before, only online. I kind of want to do it with the possums outside. Yeah. It could be fun. It could be fun. It just, I think like you have to go in with your eyes wide open of what you're doing. Right? DVD said I'd end up with gators. Yeah, that's not a good idea. I'm not going to say that that's a good idea. We're not going to do that. I've watched enough People of Florida videos to know you don't mess with the gators. Just don't. Just leave them alone. Yep. Jalissa has clarified, like holes in the pumpkins, then the chickens eat them. Okay, good. Yay. Oh my goodness. Well, that is the Halloween decorations. Okay, Rando, I just saw the beginning of this comment. I haven't finished reading it. I had to stop my chihuahuas from attacking a possum that was twice as big as them in the summer. Chihuahuas do not understand how small they are. I don't think they have any idea. They think that they are like Newfoundlander size, in my opinion. Every chihuahua I have ever met thinks that it is 10 times bigger than it actually is. And I've known a lot of dogs that are 10 times bigger than a chihuahua and think they are a lot smaller than they are. Oh my goodness. Chihuahuas are fun though. I've never had one, but I've known a few. They're interesting. I think they're one of those breeds, like once you have one and if you really, really like it, it's like a forever thing. It's like me and Shih Tzus. I can't stop. I can't stop. Although toy poodles have definitely wormed their way into my heart. But Lacey does have a little bit of Shih Tzu in her, in all fairness. So, General Scott, this is the end result of day drinking in Jacksonville. And I bet the gators would come at that point too, in all fairness. Beth Bearclaw, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh because it's not it's a little scary. I got attacked by a gang of 3 chihuahuas in my alley. I hope you are okay. I hope you're okay because that dog bites are not a joke. But I hope you understand why the image of it is kind of funny. But yeah, Rando from Iowa, they are quirky. Yes, they are. Oh. Yeah, Beth said 3 had me surrounded. Lol. Okay, so at least you're laughing about it. But like that would have been a little bit concerning. A bit. But yeah. Katie Earth 94 said my little chihuahua always picked fights with any human male she came across. It was hilarious. The men were unfazed. Why am I shocked? Oh. Brando said they harass the squirrels constantly also. Chihuahuas are fun. They're interesting. I was like, really? Beth, laugh out loud. Yep. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you think it's funny. Because I don't want to like come on here and start like making fun of somebody that got like attacked. That doesn't feel like a very nice. Yeah, it can be very serious. And I don't want to like invalidate somebody's very terrifying experience. That is never what I want to do. Well, you guys, we are now in the last portion of the show, which is where we just kind of hang out. If you guys have any questions, you have anything you want to say, any last minute support you want to give, all that type of stuff, now is the time because I can acknowledge it and we can have a conversation. Well, guys, I have to ask you guys, how has it been this week for all of the streams? I know there's been a lot of content. There's been a lot of things going on, and I hope you guys have been okay with seeing me a bit more than you have previously with streams. I've had a lot of fun this week. I don't know if I can maintain doing 3 streams a week for a very long time. I think during this stage with Britney, it's important for me to do so. But it is a lot of work. It does take a lot of time, and I still have a full-time job, so I gotta play my cards right. Like when we're done here, I'm diving into work. So yeah, it's thank you, Project Mental Music. By the way, I have seen your Instagram post. I'm gonna look into it a bit more. It's just been I've been running this week like crazy. I was working until about 10:15 last night. And then up again this morning and everything. So it's been a lot. So please know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm not trying to ignore you. Is it KDR74? Did you see the police body cam footage of Pam when the police came to find the two Ruby Frankie's girls? She admitted a lot. I have not seen it yet. I know that it happened. I know that it exists. I have been checking on like the message boards and stuff, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I think Pam is an interesting player in this. I don't think we've seen the last of Pam. My speculation. My opinion. DVD said, great streams this week. Tooth is sufficient. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Carrie, I love that you're on. You help a lot of people. Just hearing your voice helps me. Well, that's very kind of you to say, and I'm glad. I hope that people, when they leave here, feel a little bit better than they did when they came in. That's always kind of, I try to, even if we're talking about bad stuff, that at least we're talking about things that people feel validated and things like that. So I'm happy to hear that. Thank you. Just checking. Lewis at Nerd Report wanted to know if you think Nirvana is a boy band. No, I don't. In the same way that I don't think that you can classify One Direction and Insane Clown Posse in the same genre. Just because they are a group of boys does not make them a boy band. Boy band tends to be a term that is especially associated with pop music. And by pop music, I mean dance and top 40, for lack of a better term, influenced musical style. Whereas a band, a rock band or a R&B band, even sometimes, it is different. It is different. And like Lewis can keep trying. That's your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. You can stay with your wrong opinion. That's fine. That's fine. Lewis keeps trying. Yeah. Yeah, no. Jennifer Marie, yes, Kim, on the right side of history. I love how this has become such a huge debate. I'm like, I can't. Producer Sister said also, I say no, but if you say yes, what is the line? Which is a good point. When do we stop? Right? Because I also feel like if you're just going to say that boy band is its own thing, that like pop groups with boys are its own thing, are we going to have another name specifically for what I will say is mixed gender bands? Like, what do you want to call S Club 7? Just curious. Like, what does that mean then? It's a pop group. They're a pop group. That's how I view it. They're a pop group. So Matthew Coburn just said Lewis is lucky Steph wasn't there to say it to him because he would have been tested. I mean, Steph's logic is undeniable. We know this. You know, any of her leaders that are here, I'm sure you all know exactly what I mean. You don't fight with Steph because she doesn't come to her conclusions lightly, and she will bring the receipts. Sage Warrior said Nirvana is grunge. As one who was in high school when they came out, boy band will never fit Nirvana. I agree with you 100%. KDR94, Steph already said she'd take his basketballs again. Yep. The saga will never end. Oh. Jennifer, did you see Lewis's live from Monday night? I had the best slideshow to go with it. There was a slideshow? Oh my gosh, give it up. A slideshow? Was it as good as my slideshows? I'm just curious. Steph will win. Steph will obliterate. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, you need to go see it. I can't. See, this is the thing. I go into Britney world and I miss things, and at the same time, I'm like, I kind of would rather be in Britney world than watching a slideshow from Lewis about how Nirvana's a boy band. What is it? What? Ray? Oh. Ray! You broke producer sister with this. For the record, Nirvana compared to a boy band is like comparing, I assume, a stripper to a monastery. Ray, I think that is very true. That is very true. Ashley Zana, did you ask me, did I ever get my P.O. box figured out? Okay. Full disclosure story about the P.O. box, because I want to explain this because I am going to move forward and get one. I can, if I so choose, go into the United States, I would say probably once a month or so. And if I had a P.O. box there, I could pick things up and bring it back. Why is that important? Because shipping to Canada can be expensive. And I understand that. And I think it's very kind of anyone to want to send anything to me. It's incredibly generous and incredibly sweet. But I was desperately trying to see if there was a way that I could figure out how to do this, that I could have a more affordable option for shipping, because a large percentage of my audience is in the United States. The difficulty is customs. Because anything I bring back across the border, I have to claim the value, which means if some of you decided to send me something that has value assigned to it, I then have to go and talk to border officials. They get to decide essentially how much the things are worth, and then I am taxed on it as I come back through the border. Not only that, but I don't get to open this up with you and show you guys those things. So as much as I've been trying to look in to see what my options are and how I can make that happen from a legal perspective, for me, I could end up getting in some trouble if I do a US P.O. box and I don't open up everything and have everything filled out properly, like paperwork and all that type of stuff, because I don't know what I'm getting. For example, on the, like, let's say Dream World here, someone has an old Britney Spears Barbie they want to give to me in the box. I don't know why they would do that, but let's say somebody did. That Barbie could be valued at upwards of $150. I then have to pay tax on the $150. And I have to document it. It just becomes this whole like other thing. So I think snacks or food items, I may have those seized, and that could get me fined as well. There's tons of things that make that difficult for me to do. And I have been doing my research to see if there's any way that I can get approval essentially to do that. And I mean, literally, guys, Homeland Security already has my retinas. Like, I've gone through it. But it's not something that I can do. So that means my P.O. box has to be in Canada. I also don't want my P.O. box to be in the city that I live. I hope you guys can understand. I love you guys very much as a community, but there has to be some boundaries as far as how close we can be. I care about you, but we are not friends in real life. And I don't want anyone ever showing up at my door or waiting for me at a P.O. box, which has happened to some YouTubers, people that will literally camp out at the post office and wait for you to come. So I have to be very, very careful. And so now my thing is I have to figure out where exactly I am putting that P.O. box. And so I'm trying to weigh my options, and that means then that I have multiple avenues of PO boxes that I can look at, whether I want one from UPS, whether I want one from Canada Post. It just kind of like goes. So I am weighing my options. I am trying to see what's the most economical thing, and not only that, but ones that actually. Thank you, Ray. Exactly. This is a real thing. And as we're seeing with Sniper Wolf, considering I believe she still has a channel, has anything happened? Look at how many subscribers Jax Films has. Look at how many I have. And I'm going to call YouTube out on this because I don't feel like they're protecting him the way they should be right now. It's not okay. So and we all know that with women, it can get very intense and very dangerous very quickly. So I hate that it's something I even have to consider, but it is. It is what it is. She got banned? Did she actually get banned, Holly Pop? I just saw that. Holy Popo? When did that happen? Because I looked the other night and I still saw her. I was seeing like new videos posted by her. Okay, she got demonetized. That looks fairly recent from the news I'm looking at. Sorry, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm seeing that in like the past couple of hours. Oh yeah, DVD. In general, I don't go places by myself. I just don't. I don't. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, there is a YouTuber. His name is Jax Films. He's been around for a long time. And he has close to 5 million subs. When I think at his highest that I've seen, I'm not sure where he's at right now. Yeah, close to 5 million subs. And then he has a secondary channel that he has opened up called Jax Films. And on that channel, he has been covering another YouTuber named Sniper Wolf. And if you don't know who, I just want to make sure that I get this the right way because I don't know. Producer Sister, do you know about this? No. Okay. So producer sister's finding out about this for the first time. Sniper Wolf has 34 million subscribers. So she is a very large YouTuber. And part of what she does is she reacts to other content. But the problem that a lot of people have had with her is that she doesn't give credit. Part of the reason why I am so freaking crazy about making sure that I have all of my sources and everything else is because I think it is fair to give people credit for what they do. And it's difficult when there aren't really necessarily like rules of what the appropriate thing is to do with crediting. So what ends up happening is that she reacts to this content. She doesn't give credit to these creators. In some cases, I've heard she actually cuts out the name of the creator so people can't go and find them. Whereas any other TikTok compilation I look at, for example, the name is always present. And there have been a few people that I've been like, that was hilarious. And then I go and I find them on Instagram and I follow them. And sometimes I share that with you guys, literally like on my Instagram and stories because I see something that is funny. But yeah, even producer sister, when she makes all of the, the WUT the WUTs, she has the link on the first slide that I show. And I do my best. Sometimes I forget, to be honest with you, but to the best of my ability and the best of my memory, I try to make sure that those links are also in my source doc because we want to do the right thing. So Jax Films has had a big issue with Sniper Wolf doing this. So he has been reviewing her content and where he can saying this content is actually this person and trying to give credit. So there's been a lot of fighting back and forth. And then Sniper Wolf showed up at his house. She showed up at his house. She went live, I believe, or she took a video live outside and tagged him basically and just was like, I'm here. Let's talk about it. And then she took a picture of the outside of his house and posted it. She doxed him. She doxed him. I am never okay with doxing. It's just the most awful, terrible thing. So Jax made a video after that basically saying, like, YouTube, she has endangered my safety. Do something. Freaking do something. This is ridiculous. Yeah, literally, he was live streaming. She showed his address. Thank you, Carbonized Stardust and Holy Popo. It was absolutely wild. And this happened, yeah, like it happened over the weekend, I believe. King Bob. It was very disturbing and it's very scary to know that this stuff is going on. So it sounds like very recently, days later, YouTube has made this decision to demonetize Sniper. But the thing is, Sniper, at the level she's at, she can get sponsors. Right? Like she has over 30 million subscribers. She has almost as many subscribers as people that live in my country. It's very scary. It's very, very scary. It is Carbonized Stardust is absolutely right. It is insane behavior, stalking behavior. It's Project Mental, it is mental. It's just not, it's not okay. Oh, really? Carbonized Stardust? I just saw her biggest sponsor dropped her. Well, good. I'm sorry. So the thing is, I have to be careful and try to protect myself as much as possible. And I try to do that. So I hope that that makes sense. And absolutely, Rando, there are lines you do not cross. And sometimes that is also like part of why I say that is because when you dox a creator, you're doxing their family too. You're taking people that have not consented to being on the internet and now bringing them into this mess. And that to me is just not okay. And then there's the safety issues and all those types of things. So I am weighing my options about getting a Canadian PO box. I'm sorry that means that shipping prices may be a bit higher for some people that may want to send me something. And I have tried and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to put myself in a place where I could get in legal trouble. And I hope that that is understandable. So that's where we're at with that. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm just looking at the chat and you guys talking about it. It's unsettling. It's very unsettling. But I am happy to see YouTube doing something. That would be cool.
And our audience agrees that this is not okay.
Yeah. And I did just actually take a look. I have a plugin for YouTube. And it does tell me if videos are monetized or not. And I can confirm her latest video is not monetized. I'm not going to go through every single one of her videos because I don't want to give her the views. But yeah, I guess something has happened. Carbonite Starter said it's a huge safety risk. Like, how didn't she understand that? I don't get it. Well, she kept on saying she didn't dox him. She just kept saying I didn't. And saying that I doxed him was defamation. In the words of BJ, facts ain't defamation. They just not. They not. Exactly, Beth. Turn the mirror around. Would you like it done to you? Yep. Yeah. So I will let you guys know. I'd like to have it up and running before Christmas because I know I had a few people last year that wanted to send something to me for Christmas and that just wasn't going to happen. So it was a lot. Yeah. Producer sister just said, yes, it's nice to know that this community also doesn't believe that this behavior is acceptable 100%. I honestly think there's a lot of people that follow Sniper Wolf that are probably young and may not fully understand the ramifications of what happens there. Because most people that do understand it, they don't agree with it, in all fairness. Scotty said, King Bob just said she didn't know how to dox. That sounds a lot like Amber being like, I wouldn't know how to leak anything. And then when it did, she was like, no, well, I wouldn't leak it like that. I do it better than that, or whatever it was that she said. It was like, okay, whatever works for you. Yeah. So I think that brings us to almost 2 hours that we have streamed. I'm sure you guys can hear my voice is getting a little rough. So I need to take some time and rest. I am so happy that you all came today. I cannot believe how many of you are still here. I hope you all had a great time today and had some fun. Thank you, Nerd Report, for rating us. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I will ask, it is incredibly helpful for me if you can wait till the stream finishes, reload the page, and leave a comment. It shows interaction with the video, and it really helps me with the algorithm, and it's something that you can do for me very quickly. That means a lot. So basically, when the stream is over, I show a quick, the stream is ending. It usually goes for about 10 seconds. Then it stops. And if you could reload and leave a comment, it would mean the absolute world to me. And I would very much appreciate it. I will see you all next week. If you, anything important, I'll do community updates, or I will post something on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram through my link tree. Thank you so much for all of your love and your support. As always, have a great, great weekend. And I will see you next week for what I'm sure will be a very interesting week. Much love, everybody.